You know, if you've been watching the show for years, you know that I love to cast crankbaits. Probably because with a crankbait, if the fish are feeding on smaller bait fish, it looks like the food they're feeding on, but also it allows you to fish fast, cover a lot of water. The trick with crankbaits is getting the right action of a crankbait, and by that I mean the wobble. Some crankbaits have a very tight action, others a very wide wobble, and also getting the crankbait that's diving to the right depth. For example, here at El Salto, most of the bass have been in shallow water, and a lot of the crankbaits that I brought down, which Ono suggested, dive down as deep as 20 feet. So what I'm holding up in my hand here, this is a Rapala Trolls 2 TT15, and it's the flat series. And you can see how the lip comes out almost perpendicular, 180 degrees. That means that this lure is going to dive, literally point down when it's diving, and it's going to go to 15 feet. What I did, because we're casting in shallow water, I took that lip, and here I'll compare it so that you can see it. Okay, so this is the way the lip is standard. You can see that it's straight. And Ono had a lighter, and I just warmed up the bottom of it without even making it black. But you can see there's a little bit of white from where I pushed it down. And I bent the lip down. You can see the difference is almost, I'd say, 35 or 40 degrees. So by bending the lip down, there's more water resistance, so the lure is going to go more from side to side, and it won't be able to dive down. So these are excellent lures to use if you're fishing for largemouth bass. The Trolls 2 series also comes in a long format, like the one I'm holding here, and you can do the same thing. So if the fish are going after larger, longer bait fish, I would go to the slimmer crankbait, and I can, again, just by heating the bottom, adjust the lip. And believe it or not, you can actually heat that and adjust it back to the normal height. So crankbaits are fun to use, and also when fish hit them, if they're aggressive, they're most likely to stay on because you've got two sharp treble hooks. You know, for a lot of the fish that we've had on, you're only seeing like the halfway through the fight because it's so hard to maneuver. Even our camera boat has a hard time maneuvering through the trees. So I actually made a cast way back there in the bay, both Barb and I did, and this fish was right back in the back corner. Look at this. You know, I remember the days when I used to go after largemouth using my canoe in shallow water like in the Kawartha Lakes. This is a largemouth bass angler's dream, to be down here on El Salto Lake. That's about a 3.5 pound fish, maybe even a little bit heavier because they're so chunky and they're so plentiful in here. Okay, I'm gonna just lower them back down. Trying to be gentle with these beauties. You can see how gorgeous those colors are. Look, all the iridescent colors. I'm just gonna take my hand away and he's just gonna, very gentlemanly-like, take on.
Fisher girl! Catch the passion!
One of the most versatile lures you can use is a spinner. The reason why it's called a spinner is because this blade will spin as it travels through the water. Another feature is it's got this bell, and in the bell it's got a gear that as it goes through the water, the bell will hit the gear and create a vibration in the water. That's why it's called a vibrex. Now the reason why this is such a versatile lure is because you can fish at any depth. So you can cast out and have it skim across the surface as it spins, or you can let it sink to the bottom, and then as you retrieve it, it will still spin. Plus, you can catch any type of fish with this lure.